In case you've been asleep, which you most likely were, NHL 19 has received a tuner meant to try to improve the flow of the game. This tuner was released at 2 a.m. on September 19th. Pacific Standard Time. Because that's the perfect time to release something without you even noticing. Kind of like when Santa comes down your chimney and you had no idea it even happened. Because come on, you never caught Santa. Or your account gets hacked and your hacker is just slowly trading away your low overall cards without you realizing. Can't have you go into a panic now, can we? Anyway, let's go over what happened in this tuner and I'll give you guys my thoughts on it. So first of all, poke checks. They now need to get a slightly larger piece of the player to cause them to trip. On top of that, there's an increase to poke check accuracy when poking to ideal angles. What this essentially means is poke checks got a buff. EA felt like people were too scared to use the poke check. It wasn't being used enough, so they have to go and do something about it. But Mivs, a Twitch streamer, feels like maybe they did too much.
This is NHL 19, guys.
Yep, this has turned into Janitor Simulator 2019. Alright, it's not to that extent where you can just keep spamming the poke check. But right now, there are a lot of people that are complaining about this tuner, saying it's back to the NHL 18 times. But I also feel like a lot of people haven't really experienced the tuner either, because it just came out this morning. A lot of people are also saying that nothing has changed, really. But as long as EA logic changes, then I guess that's better. Like if EA accomplishes what they wanted to, so hooray. Personally, I was one of those people that felt that the poke check did need to get buffed from the beta, and they didn't do that. It felt like every poke check, even if it was from a good position, was going to end up being a trip. The only times it wasn't going to be a trip is when your stick cannot physically reach the opponent's skate because it doesn't go that far. And every little touch resulted in a trip. So I welcome these changes as long as they aren't too much. You should be able to poke check people from the side without worrying that your stick is gonna just end up going behind you. As long as there's no poke checking from behind, then I think we'll be fine. That was really the only crazy thing to me about NHL 18 when it came to poke checks. Poke checking people when they're on breakaways, just never really resulting in a penalty or a penalty shot. Anyway, after that, you have additional tuning for how goalies read the future puck position or potential shot position on deeks. Are you trying to figure out what that means? It means EA got rid of my breakaway moves. You'd think I'm kidding, but this move that I showed off at the very end, which went in every single time, it did go in right there, but that was once. I do it another 3 times, and it doesn't work. My other breakaway moves all of a sudden feel like they're a lot harder because the goalie is kind of sticking around and following the puck and not the person. Guess that means we're going to have to keep finding other breakaway moves, and don't worry, I have you guys covered as I already found another one that I'm going to be showing off in my other video. My goodness, is this easy. And the sad thing is, it works from any angle. You can do it on the left side, you can do it on the right side, you can do it cutting in from the left side, cutting in from the right side. You can start from behind the net, from the corner boards, from the sideboards, doesn't matter. Alright, let's move on to the next bullet point. We had too much fun with that one. Added consistency for user goalies to transition to post hug at extreme facing directions. Gonna be honest with you again, because I'm honest with you guys every video, you know me. I mean, I like to think that I am. I haven't played against player goalies, so I don't exactly know how bad whatever was that made them do this. But it just sounds like if it's an awkward angle and they're not really like in a good position, they can turn themselves and hug the post. Then goalie logic improved when they're considering dropping to the butterfly, basically going on their knees. I don't know if that means more often or less often, but EA feels that it's better. This is an interesting one because I was going to make a video on it, and well, now I can't. Decrease team energy gain off whistles was allowing first and second lines to be put out more often than intended. So whenever there was any kind of whistle, or usually it was after after a goal, your energy would refill, which meant that you could have your first line out there and you were never really using your fourth line whenever you scored a goal. This led to people pretty much using 3 lines instead of 4 lines because there was just no reason for that fourth line, and then you had a bunch of synergy plugs there. This is Hockey Ultimate Team, by the way. If you don't play that, then you won't understand what I just said. But yeah, it was too much, so they fixed it. This next one's a good one. AI goalies are more likely to come out to play the puck during long dump-ins. Well, don't worry again, for Reddit user Lawnfall, also known as Burt Macklin, FBI, is on the case. EA wanted to make the AI more realistic, just like how actual hockey games go. All those embarrassing highlights that you see of goalies getting out of their net to play the puck, and then all of a sudden it ends up into the back of the net. Well, yeah, that's exactly what EA wanted to add to the game. Realism. Finally, players are now unable to drop their stick in ones, so basically going crazy with all those stick lifts and ones trying to whack the stick out of people's hands won't be effective anymore because, well, they won't go out of their hands anymore. That right there is what's been released in the second week tuner of NHL 19. What do you guys think of these changes? What kind of changes do you want to see? Do you guys think this is good for the game? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you next time.